Just gonna open it. Yes.
That was fucked up what you did right there. I did not. That was fucked up.
You didn't say anything.
No, but caught me all snarky. Is this what's funny?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
It just won't let me make us go away. I have to live with two of us. And a delayed with two of us.
It's disrespectful of YouTube, to be honest.
It really is. Just like make it. Fine. You could do it on Twitch back in the day. You could hide preview. Hey, look, someone's here, James.
Ray.
Nuggets.
Okay. Oh, dang it.
What?
Jesus.
Boo-hoo.
You picked up 20 points today.
Yeah, I need like 50.
No, you need like 10 more.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get that before freaking tomorrow.
No, but it is competitive.
Yeah, unlike when you were 100 points ahead of me.
You didn't reactivate me, Corinne.
Oh, well, I think I'd given up on that point, and I already had my roster set for this week, and I didn't know he came back.
That's fair.
Well, babies are allowed to be hungry.
That's illegal.
No?
Have you considered telling him no?
Probably was the girl.
Have you considered telling her no?
Have you considered telling your children no? Not just to you, to the broad world. I'm so excited. I have 3 more minutes.
3 minutes? 3 minutes remain. Are you nervous?
I have to pull this off correctly, or it's just going to be awful.
Are you gonna do this for the recording? Oh boy!
I've been preparing since like 12:45 for this moment. Well, actually, the moment in 2 minutes. I think I'm hilarious. So few people that are watching our channel are going to get this reference.
America's got some big to do at the start of the recording of this episode.
This is so dumb. It's probably not even funny.
A note on the structure.
Oh, yes. I'm here.
I think for the first episode.
I thought we were just doing a talk back.
Yeah, mostly. But I was like, what if for the first episode we just talk about everything that's wrong? For the second episode, we talk about everything that was good.
We're not going to stay in those lanes.
No, we're
not. That's
silly. We're not, because I'm constantly talking about, like, when I complain about something, I'm constantly going, but it's so, but we can't forget that they did this thing that was good. I do that all the time with all the movies, all of them.
I didn't hear much of that today in our prep for this episode.
But that's because this is not for me. I'm not the intended audience. And now, super especially not.
Why are you super especially not?
Because they've alienated me.
Oh my god. I think this is the one show that literally can't do that.
It can.
Okay. Solid argument.
Sure it can. Why not?
You guys need to come back to Twitter/X. It's the Japan America crossover arc. What?
I don't know. I use Twitter for hockey, and That's it.
I deleted Twitter because I hate Elon. So
It's fair. I would deny him money given the opportunity.
no one's making me as no one is making me as mad as Zuckerberg lately, though.
They just lost that lawsuit.
What lawsuit?
Oh, a court proved that they were negligent in controlling their algorithm, and
Oh, good.
the suit was basically so that one. I might have actually covered it. This gal was. They proved that she became addicted to social media through Meta's platforms, and Meta was like, "No," and then the court was like, yeah," and then they had to pay her $1.2 million. Oh, he's also right. I have seen that. There's some people in Japan who are trying really, really hard to be American, and they're doing a mighty fine job.
Solid. All right, you ready?
Okay. Are you gonna sing all of Clean It
No.
Up?
No, that would get me copyright stricken.
Probably.
This hopefully won't.
Oh my god. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Hello, one and all, and welcome to another thrilling episode of CityWavesCinema. I'm your humble host, America, and with me, as always, is my salty co-host, James. Say hi, James.
Hello. Hello. That was so loud.
Sorry.
It was a little...
I practiced it.
Wow.
What's funny is our live chat thinks that I just scripted an intro, and I just stole one.
Maybe we should keep it.
I can't steal his work.
Yeah, because I'd like to work with them one day, so maybe don't ever do that again. Not because it wasn't good. You did great.
Thank you.
That was good. Well done. Excellent job. Never do it again. Just in case. In case somehow we become popular some way.
I did it one time. That was my best Brennan Lee Mulligan impression. That's all I got.
I want to play D&D with him, so you gotta be cool, okay?
It was done out of love. It was done out of love. And an admiration. Alright, so anyways. All that aside, we are talking about Hazbin Hotel Season 2. Yes.
Oh. If ever a season of cartoon there was.
This would be the second one of those.
Boy, howdy. Oh, man. You know, Amazon signed on for like 5 of these seasons.
Yeah, and they've already finished recording 3. It's not animated yet, but the recordings are done.
Yeah, but they signed on before the second season came out. Do you think they regret it?
No. I've seen the conventions.
I wouldn't either. There's
I
so
own
many
the merch.
So many dollar signs all over the place. Buh.
No, they have no regrets.
Do I gotta?
Yeah.
Oh.
We talked about it a lot today. We were brushing up on our Hazbin lore.
I blew my load early. Like 7 hours ago.
Well, that's not my problem.
No. Fuck. Okay.
What do you like about this season, James?
Oh, good. Let's do it this way. Okay.
What do you like about this season? Before you really go off. What are some things you enjoyed?
Nifty has a great song.
Nifty does have a great song. It Up.
And it's in the, I think, 5th episode. I think it's the 5th episode. I can tell you if I scroll just a little bit here. Yeah, the 5th episode. Great song. Kimiko Glenn crushes it as she always does. Other good things, man. There's not a drop in quality in terms of the artistry and the visuals. It's all just as upsetting as it was the season before. So, that's good. Um we learn things about Alistair. That's cool. He's, I mean, they sort of telegraph it from the first season where it's like, hey, this guy's on your side, but he's eventually going to be a problem. And so like we get to dig in a little bit on what his deal is.
Patrick Stump's in it.
Oh yeah, Patrick Stump is in it. He's from that band that does the music. Um
Why are you being purposely
I
antagonistic?
don't remember which of the many.
Fallout Boy.
Okay, there's 17 Fallout Boys and they're all the same. Yeah.
You really just gonna say that statement with your whole chest?
It's not a big chest, so yeah, I'll commit.
Oh my god.
But Patrick Stump's in it. He did great.
Uh-huh.
I wish we'd gotten more of him, to be honest. That would have been so fun. Because I mean, if you think about like the cast and everything, they're all wonderfully talented vocalists and everything, but we killed Alex Brightman. So we don't have.
He's serpentious.
Yeah, but he's not doing his classic, his Beetlejuice
He's
voice.
not doing his Alex
He's
Brightman
not,
voice.
yeah, he's not doing his Alex Brightman voice. And this is strictly for music, right? He's not singing the way that he does.
No, because he's
But
serpentious.
but you brought in Patrick Stump, and Patrick Stump is singing the way that he does, and it's like, oh, that's so good. Because you need more than Broadway.
Can we have like a flashback? Season 3, can we have a flashback of like Abel with Adam? Like,
oh man,
that would
give
be
me a duet
so
between
good.
Alex Brightman and Patrick Stump.
Yes.
That's like a pretty up tempo rock song, dude. It'd be so good.
Oh, neat.
But the thing of it is like we don't get nearly enough of him in this season. Why? Because we were sucking Broadway's dick the whole season on mediocre songs.
We both have a similar complaint. I'm going to try to put it in a nicer way.
I have no qualms being harsh about this show.
Basically, what James is saying is that in the first season, there were more like solid standalone solo numbers, rock songs,
Lots of
pop
earworms.
songs.
Lots of earworms.
And in the second season, it tends to lean more to ensemble show choir. It's very show tuney. And that's not a bad thing. It's just you lose kind of some of the really good standout music. And instead, there's portions of these really extensive ensemble pieces that you really love.
Patrick Stump doesn't get a song. He gets a verse in a song that a lot of people are singing in, and his verse is the good verse. His verse is the good verse of the song. And it's like, it's not to say any of these songs are like written poorly. There's nothing, I'm going to say so much shit that is exactly like this about all sorts of aspects of this season. It's not that any of it's wrong or bad. The problem is that none of it is quite good. None of it's bad. But when you're holding it up against the first season of the show, where so much of it was just home run after home run after home run, you have a little bit of a backslide for season 2 across every category. This is not a, oh, we dropped the ball here and there. This is a, oh, we've made our bed, which is we did this. We started the first season and we started spinning a bunch of plates on sticks, right? And then at the end of the first season, we were done with some of those plates, but we had questions. And so we were like, okay, we're going to do some more. We're going to replace the plates on sticks that we've lost. And then they start the second season. And for 4 straight episodes, we spin 17 more plates on sticks every episode, including the ones we were still spinning from the first season. So now we have 1,000 plates on sticks. And who can possibly give a fuck about all of them equally? I don't think it's fair to the audience to bring this much to the table instead of doing a smaller thing with the characters we had and maybe a few other ones, maybe a few new ones, and keeping at the same level that our first season was at. We opened Pandora's box to a bunch of characters. We took a lot of our primary characters and said, sit on the fucking benches. We're doing random shit now. And we did a bunch of random shit. But instead of the same level of quality from the first season, it feels like we blew our creative genius working on creating all this side character shit instead of we made it wide, not deep. The first season is wide enough and deep enough to be deeply engaging, reach lots of people, and bring non-Broadway people into a Broadway-esque space and bring Broadway people out of a Broadway-esque space. It's great all around. This season kicked all those non-Broadway people right out with mostly not memorable musical numbers performed by not notably impressive voices, which is not to say they're bad, but think about the talent we threw up in the first season. Vaggie's not fucking singing songs. Charlie's not fucking singing songs.
They have their duet.
Yeah, but that's one time.
It's a good duet.
You have powerhouses cast as most of the main cast, and the majority of them take a fucking back seat for all of this season.
There's something that we talked about how we feel like, well, I'm summarizing what James feels. This season is very much the heroes lick their wounds while the V's get to run rampant, is really what this feels like, which James is not.
I'll get into the weeds on the V's later, but like I'm really like I want to work from broad strokes out, down and in to like core problems. And core wins because this is not a bad season of television. Loads and loads and loads of people think this was great. I don't think it was bad.
No, but I do see your point that, and I've talked about it too, that I don't feel it's as good as the first season either. And I think something that we touched on earlier when we were prepping for this is they're so focused, because I know they are, because that's all I've heard about on TikTok for months. They're so focused on this over like 5 season span of a story that we're getting fed like basically chunks of at a time instead of playing for like the season and then the bigger story. We're playing for like the bigger story all at once. So it just feels the pacing isn't as good as the first season.
There's simply not a natural flow.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to not jump your shark on a show, especially when you get astonishing levels of viral popularity out the gate with season 1, right? Sure, the network approved your show. You get your first season. They're like, we'll see how you do. When you blow up the way Hazbin blew up, there becomes an expectation that you're going to provide an equivalent level of quality for the rest of the time. And often I think that's deeply unfair to ask of showrunners and the creatives behind the shows because you can't start with a first season of a TV show and like put your whole everything into it and then all of a sudden like discover that you're going to get to do the rest of the work. So there's better ways to describe it, but I don't want to like go super hard just yet. We've got another hour and a half to fucking work this thing over. From the top down, this season of Hazbin, like America said, we finished the first season and we've had this big climactic battle, and Alistair's wounded. Charlie and Vaggie are fucking out of their minds. Things aren't going correctly. Lucifer's just sort of like around being a clown. Um, and you know, your side characters that you had a couple episodes about and you care about, they're around. But then we get into the sort of the start of the flow of the season, and Charlie is Spiral City, just becoming a non-character, which isn't it's it's appropriate for the story.
She's traumatized.
It is not good to watch. It is not fun to watch. It is not engaging to watch. I do not enjoy watching the strong, badass character that Charlie was fail one time and collapse. And to be fucking clear, she did not fail one time. She tried one time and was successful. She can't prove that, but she did try and was successful. Now, she's going to spiral out of control, effectively backseating her for the entire second season. After a couple episodes, she's effectively a non-factor, right? She becomes a second tier character for the show. Vaggie, even worse, demoted even farther.
Promoted as far as workload.
Yes, but that will make you third string.
Yeah.
Like, you are not a frontline driving character for this season. Is that a problem? No. Narratively, that's where you have to go. So we've got gaps now in our character lineup. If you want to, if I the only fucking sport that I can do an analogy for is hockey because it's the one that I know. Your front line, your first line skaters, Charlie, Vaggie, they're on the fucking bench, bro. They're injured. They're out. Alistair's out for a little bit.
He's also injured.
He'll be back. So now you've got to like move up your guys. Well, guess what? Everyone's fucking injured. Angel's gone. He fucks off. And he is a non-character for the whole season.
Up until
he's a puppet.
Yeah.
He is. You do not have episodes where we focus on him interacting with people. That's what I mean when I say like they're non-factors. We have episode after episode of the show where characters that you spent time getting to know and loving from the first season that you expect to engage with and like get to know in the second season, they're just not fucking around. They're just gone. It would be like if you spent the whole first season of Game of Thrones just watching the Starks.
Mm-hmm.
And you love that shit and you're in there with them and you love them. And then the second season, we don't see a Stark the whole time. And we're like, what about we just hang out with the Lannisters? And you're like, this sucks. They're all the worst. This is terrible. No one would fucking watch it. Obviously, that's sort of like an exaggerated example. But in this season, we don't hang out with Husk. We don't hang out with Angel. We don't hang out with Charlie. We don't hang out with Vaggie. Like your core characters that roped audiences in, your core powerhouse voice actors, your Broadway star singers. None of those motherfuckers are prime candidates for the stage this season. They're all in the background. We're spending time with Serpentius. Now, Alex Brightman, obviously powerhouse, but Serpentius was sort of a background character to an extent in the first season until he was elevated. And now
literally.
And now he's sort of front and center. We're also spending a lot more time in heaven. And guess what? We don't fucking like any of those characters. We don't
I like Abel.
We like Abel. Sarah's okay. No, who's the
Emily.
Emily.
Emily, we like
Emily's
Emily.
okay.
Peter's funny.
Sarah sucks.
I hate Lute.
Lute
dude.
is a miserable character.
I hate her
Without,
so much.
Lute was a cool character when Adam was alive. Lute. Now, here's the thing.
She's a good foil.
Here's the fucking thing, right? Narratively, there is no problem. I have no problems with anything that goes on narratively. The stories are fine. They're nothing like I'm obsessed with, but the stories are fine. Your plot lines are fine.
The lore is good, y'all.
The lore is good. Everything that happens is the appropriate transition from the first season. That does not make it good.
There's too many plates.
Because it is right does not make it good. The reverse can also be true. Just because it's good doesn't make it right. It's not the case in this instance, but we spend so much time fucking around with the most annoying characters in the show on purpose. We spend the whole season buried inside Vox's ass, having to tolerate that miserable fuck the whole time. You know whose backstory I just don't give a fuck about? Vox. You know whose backstory I don't want to listen to next season? Valentino. You know whose backstory I don't give a shit about for the third season?
Even more so than the other two?
Velvet. These characters are so irksome. They were tertiary and minor villains in the first season. And now they've been elevated to the big dogs. They're the problem, right? And why are they the problem? Because our main cast of powerhouse characters are on the sidelines. Which means these little half-pint motherfuckers get to run shit because our powerhouse characters are out of commission. If we had taken more time in season 1 championing the V's, making them slightly more palatable. You don't have to make them less evil, slightly more palatable. Maybe there'd be more buy-in to give a fuck about them. We spend the whole first season viewing them from the audience perspective as annoying, not threats. They're like the Greeblies in the background. They're not going to be a real problem. We have real problems. Adam is a serial killer. Alistair is a problem. He's gonna be a problem. Carmine's a problem. Dude, Carmine? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's a great fucking character.
You're talking about the woman who makes all the weapons.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
She has so little screen time in season 1, and she's a great character. She's a side character, but she's great. You have immediate buy-in. You get her backstory immediately, and you give a fuck about her opinions and the way she operates. And other overlords give a fuck about her. She's given respect. No one fucking respects the V's.
No, they're literally, she even refers to them as wannabes.
They are trash. And the overlords, and this is narratively so good that the overlords so don't view them as threatening that they basically get to run hell because the overlords are so busy not giving a fuck about them, right? Carmilla at the end of the season goes, okay, I guess I do have to fucking figure it out with you because now you're a real thing that I have to deal with. Dude, Rosie, she doesn't give a fuck about the V's.
She literally doesn't.
She doesn't even fucking know who they are. And why would she? She's the most powerful overlord in hell. Why would she fucking know or care? This show cheese graters your fucking face and ears for 8 episodes, making you sit with the trash. Why? Fucking, I don't know. Once again, the story is going the way that it's ought to, based on how they wrote it. It's not like they had these great ideas that they set up in season 1 and then they were like, ooh, we got popular, let's change it up a little bit. No, they kept their storyline, their through line all the way. They're rocking it. This is not an indictment on the writing in transition. The indictment is on the writing from the beginning. Yes?
I made a reference earlier when we were talking to this, and if anyone watches anime, they'll know there are sometimes huge chunks of the season or show that are just literally filler. They don't really do anything to the main plot. They're cool to watch, and if you need like a mental break,
Avatar did that
great,
a lot.
but they're not necessary. Do I think there are things in the season that are necessary? Absolutely. Do I think we could
like monologues and scenes,
trim off some of the fat in some places and make it cleaner and better paced? Yes.
That's such a crazy take too, because these are like 25-minute episodes and there's only 8 of them. This is already pretty stripped. Like, yeah, there's probably a limit put on them by Amazon. This is what you succeeded with in the first season, so we're not going to fuck with the formula for the second season. But it's like, dude, you used your time and your writing and your effort in the first season to make a product that was enjoyable for everyone and forgot to do that for the second season.
This is a commentary on streaming platforms, but do you think if the second season had been bingeable to us, it would be different than getting it week by week episodically? Because the first season we binged, and we did it all in one day.
Maybe.
Because then you're going through the plot versus plot, wait a week, plot, wait a week.
I hate the idea that this formula needs to be a case by case basis, because I am of the opinion that television shows, especially ones where your episodes are longer than a half hour, longer than the regular like broadcast chunk for a sitcom or something, when you're doing those drama or action shows with long run times, I think those need to be week to week releases. When it comes to sitcoms, I think those also should be week to week releases. But in a sitcom, you're not typically running constant plots. You're running a plot in the background, but each episode gets its own story. You think of Friends.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a through line through each season.
I was thinking Big Bang Theory, but
that works too. There's always a through line in a sitcom where like these are the plots that are happening in the background, 1 or 2 or 3, depending on how many cast people there are.
Typically like relationships and stuff.
Yeah, and then every episode is going to have stories or situations that will interact with those plots, but maybe not completely change them willy-nilly. That's what big climaxes are for, in sitcoms anyways. This show is not a sitcom. This show, I don't know, this is a musical. And I think
musicals are intended to be viewed in one experience.
I think because it's a musical and not strictly a sitcom, like this is a shrunk down drama series that happens to be funny, but is mostly dark. And
comedy.
It's dark comedy. I think this is better served as a bingeable piece of media. And I do wonder if we had watched every episode of season 2 back to back to back to back to back if we would have thought it was paced better. But man, they released them 2 episodes a week on the same day. And I do wonder, now that you bring it up, if that caused a lot of jaggedness in the pacing for us as viewers. I'd have to think about it a little longer and more in depth and compare it to other things that are like that. But yeah, that might be something. You might have something there with your thinking brain.
Yep. No, I just was wondering, because as you were saying it, I was like, well, what was one of the big differences in how we, not even the show itself, but how we consumed it. That's the word I was looking for. How we consumed the media, and that was one big difference. And is season 1 we binged. I binged it twice in one day. James once, and then season 2 it was very much like plot, and also at that time we were doing other shows too that we were watching, so we were bouncing back and forth and having to wait a couple weeks and go, oh yeah, that's happening, and oh yeah, this is going on. There's so many plots that it would be better to have them almost like speed run at me, like straight go 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 go, than drag them out over weeks. I never thought it would be a case by case basis, because I'm normally for the, yeah, release it once a week, but I've been saying recently, you have to pick a lane. You can't do episode and then take a break and then do episode. And
yeah,
you can't.
The Stranger Things release was so dog shit.
And you can't, or like, you need to pick a lane. You're either gonna drop the entire season all at once, or you need to do it weekly. Like, there's no in between. I think Hazbin just would be served better as a binge.
I'm inclined to agree. Even if that's not how they release it, like, you as the consumer would do yourself a favor to wait until it's all out and then just watch it all, whether in one day or over 2 days. Because I mean, like, if each episode's 25-30 minutes and there's 8 of them, that's 4 hours of content. You'd be hard pressed to sit down and like grind your way through 4 hours of content. It's okay. It's okay.
I did it twice in one day.
Yeah, man, you might have some problems.
Yeah. Yup.
All right. There's a lot of cool shit that goes on in this season. Okay? There's a lot of cool shit. There's a lot of cool plot lines. There's a lot of cool ideas.
Lore. There's lots of good lore drops and like things to keep you.
There's tons of well thought out backstory stuff. The problem is none of it comes to the characters that we give a fuck about.
Not true. Alistair.
I'm counting him as the exception. We get Alistair's back. I so don't give a fuck about the V's. I don't think you understand.
No, I have heard about it a lot today. I've heard an extensive amount about why you dislike the V's and how much you dislike the V's. They haven't, so please continue. But you know, you keep looking like, I don't think you understand. No, I'm starting to understand that you really hate that. On Tina Goldstein levels, like, where do they rank?
I have had to suffer with the V's for much longer than Tina Goldstein. No, that's not true. Tina's in all 3 of those fuck-ass movies.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. At least Johnny Depp was in them, too. For some of it.
I forgot that in this channel's history, not YouTube or the podcast, but in our City Waves Entertainment lore, I do have a character that I hate as much as Tina Goldstein, and I didn't remember it until we played Poppy recently.
Yeah.
Which is Turing.
Yeah.
I have an unnatural hatred for that robot. So no, I never understood your hatred for Tina recently until I remembered that Turing existed. So I feel you. I understand. I sympathize.
Yeah.
Where do the V's rank, James?
Probably just under. The problem is like they're just so annoying. It's not that Tina is bad. Tina is a bad person the whole time.
Okay. And the V's are.
Tina's a bad person in a show where she is portrayed as a good person. Tina is supposed to be a good guy and is deeply damaging and emotionally evil to Newt the whole time. The V's are bad guys who are being petulant, annoying fucks.
In Overlord, like, levels, they are children. Like, Velvet is the youngest Overlord in existence.
Yeah, like, dude, in a show where you have such good creative characters like Husk and is it Nifty in Overlord too?
Yes.
Dude, you have Husk and you have Nifty, you have Rosie, you have all these fucking awesome uh Overlord characters who are so interesting and can do so much cool shit. And then what do you have in the V's? You have an annoying weatherman. You have a social media brat and you have a pimp. Like fucking couldn't come up with something at any point in time? Dude, you when you create the world of Hazbin Hotel, the world that you share with Hell of a Boss, by the way,
Yes.
you have open license to create the most fucked up and weird ass characters to be overlords in hell in this hierarchical scheme that you've created for the power structure of hell.
Yes.
And you neutered Satan. You took Lucifer and you were like, guess what? You're kind of a sad puppy angel and you can't do anything to the sinners within.
I love Lou.
What a fucking loser, dude.
You're a loser,
God damn it.
baby. I love Lou. He's just a cinnamon roll, James.
There is nothing about any of the three V's that makes me interested in their stories as villains. And what's worse is we dig into the background of the head of the V's, Vox, who really doesn't do anything on his own, as Alistair so vociferously points out constantly.
No, he's
king of the rage bait.
He's constantly reminding Vox that everything he has is because of other people.
Vox is the worst over. He sucks. He can't do anything on his own. He's the Chick Hicks of this fucking movie, dude.
If you don't know, our son is going through a very large Cars phase, so if we make a lot of Cars references as of late, it's all we consume.
Dude, I could write a 5-hour dissertation on Cars right now, man. I've watched that movie so many fucking times.
Do you know how many complaints I have about Cars 2? I have so many that my child now gets angry at me because I talk too much during the movie.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Vox is useless. Entirely. He is, to an extent, non-threatening. The muscle in the V's comes from Valentino. Because Valentino has influence. Because Valentino provides a service to the residents of hell. What do they do in hell? Well, it's mostly sinning. And what does Valentino provide? Everyone's favorite sin, fucking. And watching fucking. So, like, yeah, you really want to do a fucking season where he's a primary character?
I don't like Valentino. I also no, okay.
We're signed up for it now.
Yeah, I know. I again, this going into having having every V have their own focus season, which is what we have been confirmed is happening. plays this show too long. You're pacing it out too much because now we're like basically having what could be one season of a normal TV show played where like each V gets a couple episodes. We're now playing over like several years. And that's just too long.
The V's did. There's potential within them to be scary, bad, high level villains. Like you gave the courtesy to Alistair, right? You gave the courtesy to Rosie. You gave the courtesy to Carmilla. And you didn't even have really time to be giving it to Rosie and Carmilla in the first season, anyways. But they each got episodes where they were a main focus, and that was enough to get us buy-in. For the whole first season, the V's are just buzzing in the background, not getting buy-in. We're not building their lore. We're not giving a fuck about them. And then, in this season, Power Vacuum, they step in, but we, as the audience, still don't fucking give a fuck. And you're asking me to, but you didn't do any of the legwork to make it worth my while. Narratively, this is appropriate. Everything makes sense. They're doing what they, as their characters, would do. They're stepping into roles that are vacant. There is a power gap in hell. They are overlords. They are power hungry. They will step into it. What do we know about them besides that they're power hungry? Fuck all. Fuck all. But we... hold on, I'm on a thread here. We don't know anything about Alistair either. There's a way to do these characters where you don't tell us anything about them, really, but give us allure, give us mystery, give us mystique, make them engaging and interesting. But in season 1, our bad guy was what is clearly a one season, one off bad guy. You're going to have a confrontation. Either you walk away or he walks away. That's it.
Adam was great.
And it's great. That's a great way to do a season of television. We didn't get the fucking courtesy on the V's. We didn't get interesting, alluring backstory to the V's before they were thrust into the spotlight and demanded our attention. And we are, as the audience, forced to give it to them if we want to continue watching the show. If we want to continue being fans of the show, we are to suffer through watching the V's be handed respect like an abusive parent demands for no reason. There is no buy-in. There is no mystery with them. And this idea that we're going to give each V a season to explain them and to make them the bad guy is a fucking wash because you introduced them as a trio. And when we nix Vox and Valentino and Velvet chip in to help at the end, that happens, right? I'm not fucking mistaken that?
That's what happens.
That should be the end of the trio. Those two betray Vox, betray the movement they were running with because they know they got beat. They know they lost. So what are they gonna do? Now they're gonna take his stupid fuck ass little head and they're gonna fuck off and we're not gonna fucking hear about them again. Because why? Because we never had buy-in, we don't fucking care about them, and they're not fucking important. They do not affect the long-term plot lines in this show as they have been established from the first season. Yes.
Angel.
Yeah, Angel has a plot line, but Valentino is a tertiary character to his plot line.
Yes.
We do not have a Valentino plotline where Angel's the tertiary character to it.
But don't we need to keep? You said we'd never hear from them again. We need to keep Valentino around to continue Angel's plotline.
Yeah, so keep him in the fucking background where you had him in the first season. That was very comfortable. We didn't need to fucking spend inordinate amounts of time with that fucking sleazebag. We did not need to spend an inordinate amount of time listening to Velvet's grating fucking dialogue. They had the opportunity to make these characters such good, annoying B-tier characters. And then they were like, what if they were top line S-tier characters instead? And we all went, well, if you're me, we all went, what the fuck? No. Why would we fucking care? Why would we give a shit? You did not give me a reason to give a shit. You killed Adam. Badass. Awesome. Now there's a power vacuum. You could have given me more villainy with Heaven, and we didn't. What we got in Heaven is a lot of hand wringing, and we got a lot of, I maybe made mistakes in the past. Oh no. Okay.
That's kind of accurate.
It's not like deeply enticing, but it's something different than the fucking V's. My characters I give a fuck about are moping or dying, and I just simply couldn't be bothered to tear my attention away from them. I sit here tapping my fingers and waiting for the next time anyone with a purpose is going to be on screen doing something interesting. And every scene with Alistar is the fucking savior of this season, okay? Let me go on a rant about something good. Alistar has a killer arc this season. He plays everyone around him like he's a master musician. It's so good. He manipulates everyone. He puts one over on Rosie. He puts one over with ease on the V's. He smokes everybody. He puts a little baby one over on Charlie because he doesn't really want to fuck Charlie over. Like, why would he? He doesn't need to. Alistar has this great understanding of what he wants and how he wants to get there. And yes, he'll be ruthless to get there. But if you're not in his way, he'll leave you the fuck alone. Charlie is not in his way and is a little stepping stone for him. So she's not going to fucking catch his hands. Also, he can't really do that. Can he trick her? Sure. Great. Do that. There's so much lore in the show and out in the religious world at large about making deals with the devil, making deals in general, deals for souls. That is such a unique story beat to think about and to execute on. And Alistair, his whole character is about making deals, doing deals and wording things in ways that are better than anyone could have possibly done. He's the greatest lawyer in the show, and Lucifer exists. So, like, what a good fucking character. And we still don't fucking know anything about it.
Well,
we get his backstory and that he was a fucking serial killer in New Orleans in the 30s, and he did like ritualistic shit. And there's so much cool, like, design and influence from the bayou and the fucking voodoo shit that comes from that area in space and time. And it's just so cool. And then we have to go back to Velvet and Instagram, and it's just mind-numbingly miserable. God. And none of the songs are worth it. Fuck. Like, it's so cool to watch him play Vox like an instrument and use that little deal he does with Charlie. We're getting into spoiler territory here. So if you haven't watched it and you give a fuck about it, tune out, watch it, tune back in. You can agree with me or disagree with me. I don't fucking care. But spoilers start here.
This is like the biggest spoiler of the season, too.
When Alistair makes the deal with Charlie, it's perfect. It's open-ended. Do me a favor a single favor when I ask where you don't have to hurt anyone. Brilliant. The fucking Princess of Hell? Dude, that is golden key to the city. nailed it. Incredible work. Chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. Incredible. Brilliant idea. Because you can do whatever, from a script writing perspective, you can do whatever you want with that. And it comes into play in a way where Vox spends the whole fucking season getting rage baited constantly
Plus,
by Alistair.
because of the deal that Vox and Alistair made, where if he let Nifty and Husk go, he'd join Vox's crew. And so then Vox has him on a leash, so that's the deal that he makes with Vox. All in order to break his deal with Rosie.
Yeah. Like, dude, Alistair knows what he wants, and it's very simple. To simply be the biggest bad in hell. What's better than a simple goal? In a show where there's a million spinning plates, a simple goal. To be the biggest bad. How do we get there when we're handcuffed directly to the biggest bad? Well, we gotta trick everybody. And so he does. And it's fucking excellent. The only reason the V's get anywhere with anything they're trying to do is because, one, Alistair lets them. Two, the rest of the overlords do not fucking care about them.
The whole reason most of Hell even got on board was because of all the press that came out about Vox defeating Alistair.
Yeah.
They were literally like, it's kind of like you said, no one actually like cared. Like, that's how they get their TV, sure, is Vox Tech and stuff like that, and they're each goods that the V's provide. But yeah, no one really gave a shit about them ruling anything until Vox beat Alistair.
Yeah, Vox's whole character arc, as it entwines with Alistair as well, is like, it feels half-baked.
Interesting.
Only in that Vox wants to be Alistair. And wants to... Vox... think to the Dungeons and Dragons movie for a moment with me.
Okay.
Your Chris Pine character. What does he do? He plans, and that's sort of it. He's not really good at any particular thing. He's very lucky. He's the bard. He doesn't really do any bard magic in the movie, but like, he just sort of like masterminds shit, right? That's Vox, but like a more interesting version of Vox. Vox wants to be what he thinks Alistair is. Because Alistair's positioned himself in a way where he looks like he's the biggest bad in hell. Because Rosie lets him. Rosie does not give a fuck. She knows where she's at, and she's comfortable with that. And as long as she's still got his ass in that deal, she will forever and always be more powerful than he is. And even she, at the end of the season, is like, got me. Well played. Like, game recognized. Game. You know who doesn't have any? Fucking Vox. And we had to have him as the bad guy. What a misery. And we get to fucking we get this. We get to fucking follow up the Vox as the bad guy season with his two underlings. Granted, they do most of the work, but his fucking underlings who don't have buy-in, like, we super don't give a fuck about Velvet. The only reason we give a fuck about Valentino is because Valentino is directly associated with Angel, who we do not really engage with a lot outside of oh my god, our heart breaks open a million times for Angel, and we don't get to see him very much, and he doesn't get to act like himself. And background character for this whole season sucks. It sucks. This season, everyone we love is an Egg Boy.
Boy.
And the Egg Boys aren't even fucking around. Really.
Most of them died.
It's tragic.
So I was like, to be fair.
But like,
they didn't get to go to heaven.
That's one of my biggest complaints with this fucking season, though, is like, all the characters we love are the background characters. And all the characters who are not the background characters do not deserve my attention. because we did not do anything to earn it. You just wrote them to be. And this is very important. That's the way things happen in real life a lot of the time. Think about politicians. Think about community leaders. When a power vacuum opens up, if people don't give enough of a shit, losers like the V's who recognize opportunity will step into opportunity because people don't give a shit enough. If the overlords gave a fuck and were paying attention after the last massacre and after a truly important fight happened where an archangel was straight up murdered in your backyard, if the overlords gave a fuck, the V's would be squashed. They are not powerful. They are barely influential. They do not have control the way they think they do. And they simply do not have the influence that the overlords at large do. We could have had something so cool and interesting, but instead we have a show mirror real life, and nothing is more grating in today's day and age than to try escapism and watch a mirror. I was fucking on one right there. Holy shit.
James, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Me, crink, crink, crink. They just went around like a wind-up toy. It was great. All right. Unfortunately for y'all,
You don't get a vote.
you don't get a vote yet, but next time you do, we're going to do Fallout Season 2 shortly after we do this this show. And then at that recording, you guys will get to vote on the next movie. Does that make sense? Everyone tracking with me? We are still going to take our break, though. I encourage you to also do that, to get some snacks, get some drinks, and I don't know what James is going to talk about for the next section, because I feel like we talked about everything, so...
I'll figure something out.
Okay, we're back. We've collected ourselves. We've done some breathing.
I don't know how to do that.
You do it oddly. Um, and we are ready to talk about the second part of this season. To answer a question that was put into chat, this is about is this is a live recording of a podcast that you can listen to wherever podcasts are available. That we do talking about random media, TV shows and movies mainly, um, that are voted on by our live audience most of the time. Yeah, that's the long and short of it. And today we're talking about Hazbin Hotel season 2. You ready? James took notes on his hand
Yes.
about what he would like to discuss this episode. He has an outline, if you will.
An outline is a strong term for what I jotted down.
I put in the description of this YouTube episode that, and I didn't realize how accurate it was going to be, but I said, James has thoughts and America's just really here for nugget cuddles, fat nuggets cuddles, and wine.
Yeah, that's about how it's going.
So, this is fat nuggets, and then nugget is... Oh, he's not over there anymore. He's over there. I forgot that I don't have space for nugget anymore. Sad. Alright, you ready?
Okay.
3, 2... Oh, shit. I blew my load early. I don't have anything for 3, 2, 1. So I didn't really prepare for episode 2 with a really cool, fun intro.
You didn't even let me get my 4 seconds.
Never again.
Ugh.
I'm America. That's James.
Yeah.
This is CityWavesCinema, and we're still talking about Hazbin Hotel Season 2 somehow.
Yeah, since there's not really a lot there, you know.
That's not what I meant.
It's not inaccurate.
That's also not... There's so much lore. There might be, like you said, too much of the lore.
That's the problem.
But there's lots of valid, good lore.
Like I said in the beginning of the first episode of this show, there is a ton of cool shit that happens during this season. However, it is surrounded by way too much dumb shit. Now, let us consider a character I wish we were introduced to in the first season and were not introduced to in the first season because they hadn't cast him yet. Abel. Okay.
I love Abel.
To talk about Abel, we have to talk about Adam. Adam, Archangel. Bad hombre. Dead in the first season.
By Nifty.
Nifty stabbed him a lot of times with a knife. Because that's what she does. She cleans and stabs.
It was a special knife.
Yeah, meant for stabbing.
Specifically angels.
And she did great with it. She stabbed angels with it. Now, Adam, biblically, had 2 sons, Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel and then had to walk the earth sad and alone because God said, "What the fuck?"
The has-been version, pretty much.
And to be clear, in the Bible, Cain did something extremely has-been and went, "Oh," God said, "Where's Abel?" And Cain went, "I don't know, I'm not in charge of him." Shut up, dude. Shut up. Go stomp around the desert until you die.
I had a lot of ways that I pictured Cain for this show if he should appear.
Uh-huh.
And I've changed that entirely based on your interpretation just now.
No, you know how he should, if he should appear, you know how he should appear?
How?
The way the Mormons represent him as Bigfoot.
I'm sorry. What?
The Mormons believe that Cain is Bigfoot.
Nope. Do you have any more context?
No?
Okay. Carry on.
All right.
I'm going to be reading about Mormons and Bigfoot later.
Now, Abel. That's the character we get to see in season 2. Son of Adam, kind of a chill guy. Portrayed by Patrick Stump, famously of Fall Out Boy. Yes?
Yes.
Great. I fucked that up in the first episode.
Yes,
Oopsie.
you did.
Oh no, I don't care.
The emos care, James.
Oh,
Your wife cares, James.
well, good. You can do it for both of us. Somebody has to care because it can't be me. I wasn't allowed to listen to Fall Out Boy growing up. I'm not a big fan. I like their music.
Your childhood makes me sad.
I wasn't allowed to listen to insert pop punk band. Insert emo band.
You know who Gerard Way is?
Yeah, because of you. I listened to one of the less popular My Chemical Romance albums after high school. Like, I don't really associate with this realm of media because it wasn't, my formative years weren't around that. Now, Patrick Stump, talented vocalist.
We love him.
He's great. Plays Abel. Abel has not nearly enough screen time
Agreed.
in this season. For being a character that is intended to replace Adam as the head of Heaven's military force, the Angels Army. I think it's the... Sorry, I'm overlaying my religious background on top of this show, and that's not a thing you should do. Because it's just it doesn't match. It's not good. Abel's the guy in charge, right? Now, a lot of people in heaven thought maybe Lute should be in charge because she was second in command.
Lute thought Lute should be in charge.
Yeah, but Lute's a sociopath. So, not gonna be her. Abel's in charge. And he is
A cinnamon roll.
soft.
He's a cinnamon roll.
He's a little doughboy, okay?
We love him.
He's great. He's what you would want, actually, in an ideal leader of some sort. A little unsure of himself, but giving it the good old try. And he, God, it's such a waste. Like,
every scene he's in is really good.
Every scene he's in is really good. Abel's presented as this character he's got a lot of anxiety about his role and what he's supposed to be doing, and he was not well prepared by Adam, but also, like, Adam didn't expect to be murdered.
Also, Adam doesn't like him.
There's also that. So, like, no one really prepared Abel for this role. So we could have had this cool plot line where Abel, like, over the course of all 8 episodes, works himself up to being like, yeah, I'm the shit now. I'm in charge of this thing, and that's what is up. And instead, we get scenes that are about Lute, where Abel's like, what do I do? And then at the end, we have a scene about Lute, and Abel goes, oh, I know, I'll have a spine. And then he goes, fuck you, fuck off. And she goes, humph! And that's his fucking arc. And that sucks. Not because it's bad, but because it's rushed, and because it's short, and because it's we have Patrick fucking Stump, dude. He's so good, and his vocal performance is so good. And we could have had him for more than one song if we weren't jerking it to all the fucking show tunes. God damn it. They stuck their head so far up Broadway's ass. Not that there's anything really wrong with that, but, like, we had so much more variety in the first season in terms of musical numbers and in terms of just media in general. And then we were like, oh, we got them hooked with our fake Broadway. Now we're going to take them into the back of the theater and fuck them. Ha ha ha. Like, God fucking damn it, dude.
I've had, like, several thoughts, and each one has become irrelevant as your monologue has progressed.
Theater kids, man, you can't trust them. They're crazy.
Hey!
Am I wrong?
You married me.
Yeah.
Do you not trust me?
You stuck a finger in my ass earlier. Not really. You were like, surprise.
That's
I didn't
not
like that.
what
I didn't like that at all.
That is not what happened, and I need you all to know that is
I was
not
folded
what
over.
happened. Oh my god.
You said whoop.
That's not what happened. Oh, at least this is accurate for the episode we're filming. What I was going to say is I was going to be mad at your whole summary of Abel, but
Sure.
no, that's the way you described it is pretty accurate.
I know.
Which James is right. It sucks because Abel's like a really cool character of one of the 17 plates that we added. He's a really cool guy, and it would be really cool if we explored like his relationship with Adam and like James is right and given him more growth instead of hanging out with Luke, who should have just been basically made irrelevant because they lost the battle. Serpentius was redeemed. Basically, everything they've ever known about heaven and hell is turned upside down. And Sarah made a bad choice in making the exterminations happen anyways. So, like, you're out of a job, boo. Get out. Like, your leader is dead. They're not for the Angel Army anymore doing exterminations. You have no purpose. There's the door. As Vox would say, get the fuck out of my building. Like, ugh, sorry. Lute's whole storyline pisses me off. Carry on.
Funny you should mention that.
Mention Lute?
Yes, because she's intertwined with Abel because they are in their own little mini power struggle for control, which Abel didn't really want to be, but like here he is. Lute is a lot like the V's, except for she's extremely abrasive, right? We've had Lute since the first season. This is not a new character. Lute's been the same the whole time. Homicidal, maniacal, yes man to Adam, to the point where their dynamic between Lute and Adam is toxic in a way that if Adam ever was reliant on Lute to check him, it would not work or help because Lute will tell him whatever he wants to hear so that she can get away with doing all her sociopathic murder, right? So Adam probably was influenced a little bit by Lute, but we didn't get enough time with that relationship to really give a fuck about Lute. And one of the other problems with Lute is she's so abrasive. Like if you toned her down a little, she would be a much more palatable bad guy in the show. But she's awful. Every perfectly acted. Okay? The point of Lute is to be awful and abrasive. So do not misconstrue the criticism of the character for a criticism of performance. This is one of the best performed characters in the show. Phenomenal work. God damn, what a misery. Every time she's on screen, she is awful.
I think that's also something that we can say a blanket statement across. Like, everyone is voice acted really well. All the all the singing's really good. Like, all the performances are really, really good.
Yes. You have a lot of shows, especially cartoons, where there's not a lot of buy-in from the actors, unless they're like, especially if it's like Hollywood A-listers doing voice acting for movies. But here, it's a bit of a different vibe because you have Broadway A-listers who are doing voiceover, which is a bit, that's different. We don't really have a lot of cartoons where the guys and gals from Broadway are leading the charge. So that's kind of new and unique and interesting. And we got a lot of hype and fan movement about that because that's what it was. So it's really cool that everyone in the cast was so bought in on the project and continues to be so. There's not a lacking performance at all. And that's something that's very easy to slip into for voice acted projects that are not being done by like truly talented voice actors. That's why there's like a little circle of veterans in the industry who are in everything because they're the ones who are always in on the buy-in. Now, get into Lute just a little bit because I want to transition from her into benches.
Remember his outline I told you about?
Yes, I'm making an adjustment here on the fly, but we're still in it. Loot, I feel, is a missed opportunity
Okay.
to have a villain of note. And she is shut down at being a villain of note in this season by introducing Abel. Now, I don't think introducing Abel is a bad thing, but we spent the whole first season. Adam has Loot on a leash.
He still does, really.
Mm-hmm. Adam has Loot on a leash for the whole first season. At the end of it, he's murdered. Well, killed in self-defense.
Thank you.
Loot is now no longer on his leash and becomes completely adrift without it. Lost at sea, floundering. Loot needs someone to either confirm her desires and make it so she can be in charge, or someone needs to be in charge of her so that she can think she's manipulating them. That's what Loot needs. That's the way they establish her. That's what she needs. Annoyingly, that leads narratively to Loot losing her mind and needing to be removed. In this case, by Abel. And she will spend this season losing her mind, literally having her brain come undone, and then having the door slammed in her face by Abel. Unsatisfactory across the board. Not a fun character to watch, not a fun character to be around, not a fun ending to her character. And she's not ended either.
I was like,
She's still
ending.
around, but she's basically muzzled and on a leash. Not exactly where she wanted to be. Especially under Abel, who she views as lesser than her. He's not, but that's how she views it. Loot could have been a great background or a great villain via heaven if only she wasn't such an insane person. If she was a little more cerebral, if she was a little less vicious lapdog to Adam, if only she was her own person. The only fucking character traits she has is she hates Vaggie so hard and she just thinks all sinners should disappear. Here's the problem with a character like that. A character that has tunnel vision to an ending where it's a dog chasing a car. Loot, what do you do when all the sinners are exterminated? What do you do when you've vacated everything in hell? Do you just sit there and wait for the next people to die to kill them too? Is that it? Are you just a lone executioner? The thrill is in the chase, but what are you chasing? There is nothing. There is nothing at the end of your tunnel. It is a waste of a character to have had so much screen time. And then to have her be the foil to a cool character like Abel, it's a waste. Abel's going to have a role, a big role, an important role in being a peacemaker between heaven and hell because he has his head on straight and he has a moral compass. His job in the next coming seasons is going to be very important. We're going to see more of him. That's awesome. We love that. Do not give me a dog chasing cars as his primary problem. If it's going to be an ensemble of problems for him, great. Loot fits that role. But if you're going to have Loot be the foil to him, the way you did in this season, it's a disservice to the character of Abel and the hiring of Patrick Stump to play it because we deserve more of Patrick Stump and we deserve more of a good story from his character and his arc going forward. Yes.
If it does proceed to be better going forward, wouldn't that come back to our basically our singular problem with this whole season is we're playing the long con too long.
Yes.
Like too long.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, who does Lute hate almost as much as Vaggie?
Other than Abel?
Yes.
Lucifer?
No.
Sarah?
Lute disdains Abel. She doesn't hate Abel. Who does Lute hate?
Charlie? Vaggie? You
I said Vaggie.
You're setting me up for something and I'm just failing for you and I'm so sorry.
Sir Pentious. Damn. You got choked up about that. Choked on her spit because she forgot the character she likes the most.
I love him this season. I hated him first season. I love him this season. I died. I'm sorry.
Lute spends the whole second season desperately trying to find any way possible to kill Serpentius. Okay? Like, he redeemed his way into heaven on accident, mind you. He didn't mean to do it. At the end of the first season, he redeems his way into heaven by sacrificing himself to save his friends. Well played.
Therefore, undoing his original sin that he was put in hell for.
Which we get to learn about. Now, Serpentius arc, this is all positive, baby. The Serpentius arc is dope. We get more of him, which we kind of wanted at the end of the first season. Hooray, we get more. And we get a backstory of him, which is sick as fuck. Serpentius' backstory. Okay, he's in London. He is a bystander whose main sin that put him in hell in the first place was seeing Jack the Ripper kill a bitch and not doing something about it. Okay? That's what put him in heaven. That's a fucking bar, dude. We're looking at the good place levels of fucking everybody goes to hell. So he was this inventor. There's another tertiary character we haven't even talked about because he's so irrelevant.
Baxter?
Yes.
I love Baxter.
Worked with Serpentius. They were like co-workers.
At Vox Tech, if it matters.
No, they were co-workers in real life.
Mm-mm.
Was it just at Vox Tech?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought it was in real life.
Mm-mm.
Anyways.
No, Serpentius worked alone.
Either way. Serpentius is this inventor, this genius, and his only sin was that he didn't do anything about
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper, right? So he redeems his way into hell by sacrificing himself to save people from being murdered. Awesome. Great circle there in terms of writing. Dude, the writing team, mostly Vivian, is just so hit or miss on shit. When it's a hit, it is a knock out of the park hit. When it is a miss, it is like fouling the ball directly back into a camera and shattering the camera. Just devastating drops of the ball, okay? But when it's a win, it's a big fuck off win.
Like Alistair or Serpentius.
Like Alistair or Serpentius. So Serpentius spends the whole season in heaven pretty much wallowing because he did it. He had bought into the program a little bit at the end that like, oh, maybe we can redeem ourselves. Maybe we can get into heaven. Maybe that's the thing we can do. And then he did it on accident and now he's in heaven. Holy shit, it worked. And I'm here. Oh, but none of my friends are here. Oh. And Emily's doing all this work to like show him how cool heaven is and everything. And it's kind of uninspiring, not gonna lie to you. But like, he's like, none of this is like of interest to me. This is not how I thought it might be. And also, none of my friends are here.
And it's very much too like his main job is to teach Sarah that she fucked up and it's okay.
Yes, his literally his function is like it's okay to make mistakes as long as you are working to atone for them. If you can acknowledge you fucked up, that's one thing. If you can try to make it right, that's the goal. That's what you strive for. That's his whole arc. And he functions as this gear within heaven. It's portrayed that he's a wrench thrown into the gears in heaven, but actually he is like jump starting heaven into being what it's supposed to be, which is a haven for redeemed people. And the function he plays at the end of the season is literally building a bridge, a communications bridge, but a bridge nonetheless, between heaven and hell, to display to the residents of hell that you can be redeemed. That's very cool. That is playing to all of his strengths and playing to his character arc for the whole season. Fucking great job with Serpentius. Now, could we do that with other fucking characters, please? Like, come on now. For the love of God. We have Serpentius and you're trying to fucking force feed me the V's? Are you fucking for real? God damn it.
Good breathing.
In heaven, do not treat me like our 1.5-year-old.
Let's take a breath.
He's so good at it now. It's not even a real breath, but he gets the idea. In heaven, a lot going on. And a lot of it is mostly consternation because, like, the status quo has been thrown way the fuck out of whack. And Sarah gets fucking checked by the powers that be in heaven. And they're all like, wait, what do you. We were doing mass murder? And Sarah's like,
yeah, the fact that the rest
a little bit
of heaven just, like, didn't know. And
the ones who did know were, like, complicit. Like, there's two groups of people in heaven. The ones who didn't know everyone in hell were being killed, like, for real this time. And the ones in heaven who were like, I'll sign off on that. Bro, ooh, I'm gonna say some shit right now.
Not to be the Ryan George meme, but, like, stay out of politics.
All right. I'll say it on stream. I'm not gonna say it in the recording. Sarah comes to realize her mistake as things greatly unravel, and Emily looks at her as a genuine villain in her eyes. Temporarily, but, like, Emily straight up looks at her and is like, you are not who I thought you were. And ooh-wee, what a gut check that is. Especially if, like, you're a mentor to somebody and you think you've got it under control. It might be stressful, but you think you've got a handle on things, and things spiral out of control and you get checked for your fuck ups. Ooh-wee. That is hard.
Not to reference the little exchange that we just had, but it will be like the feeling that you will have when someday you'll be really heated about something and our son will look at you and go, take a breath, Dad.
Yeah, it'll be like, yee. I should breathe for a minute here. Sarah gets checked, bro. And it's deeply satisfying for the audience because, like, you signed off on this. You signed off on Adam being the guy he was. You allowed this. Adam had to report to you. So you are upper management here, okay? And what's really annoying is she's not even fucking upper management. She's middle management. And middle management is always the worst. Upper management doesn't know what's going on. And holy shit, does upper management not know what's going on. I don't know why, and I will give them a pass right now in the writing for confirming A, God is real, and B, having him not know what's happening. Because in the Catholic Protestant world, God canonically knows everything on earth and otherwise. So we're going to need some explanation as to later as to why the speaker of God is going, hey, what's going on here? You mean you guys don't know? What the hell's that about? Crazy. Also, the speaker of God showing up and being like, Hmm, interesting, and leaving. What the fuck is that about? You want to talk about questions that are going to matter later? Everything in heaven is a question that is going to matter later, which is so annoying because that's sick. That's so cool. We're doing heaven now, and heaven matters. Heaven didn't really matter in the first season. Nothing really was going on there besides Adam's a sociopathic murderer, blah, 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 blah. Heaven matters now. There are players there. There's things going on. We need to pay attention to heaven. Heaven has characters that matter and we kind of give a shit about. There's questions now from heaven. This is good. These are the plates that start spinning on the sticks that matter. This is good. This is the meat of things. We want this to happen. You mean to tell me I have to sit through the goddamn motherfucking V's when we have heaven to deal with? Holy shit. You can't feed me a brownie, follow it up with a turd, and then give me another brownie and be like, wasn't that also sweet? Fuck you. Oh boy. What? Viv. What? Get it together. I can't do 2 seasons where we continue to have these as main protagonists. I can't do that. We did Vox this season. You want me to do Valentino next and Velvet the next? No. I can't do a fucking season where the main villain is Velveeta Shells and Cheese, Instagram bitch. No.
Who's possibly a doll.
I could not give less fucks, okay? My give a fucks are on vacation. Those characters so do not matter to me. They are an inconvenience to me, the viewer. There's so much. This is the duality of this show. Is there's so much dope shit going on over here, but to get to it, you gotta suffer.
Maybe you're in hell.
Every time you turn the show on, a little bit of me is. And it's not just because of the show tunes.
Is it because of the religious trauma?
There's a little bit there. But it's not because I'm traumatized, it's because you're bastardizing my religion. Ew. If you're gonna fuck it up in a way that I like. I didn't like the way you fucked up my thing. I could have, but you didn't do it right.
There's 2 people we haven't talked about, and I don't want to throw off your timeline, but I do want to touch on them before we go, because this is the big setup and cliffhanger for next season, which we haven't talked a lot about Lucifer and Lou, and or Lou. And we haven't talked a lot about Lilith.
I got off on my tangent about heaven because my transition was into heaven where we believe Lilith is.
Well, no, we know Lilith is in heaven.
And I was gonna tie Lilith to Lucifer.
Okay.
So thank you for like holding my hand to get there.
I just wanted to talk about Lucifer.
Well, go off. You love that guy.
I do.
I think he's sort of a wet noodle. But
well, I think that there's some really good things, and this is one of the things that James did not like about the show, and he talked a little bit about it in episode 1, but I like that Lucifer was shown in dichotomy to how we think Lucifer is supposed to be, which is like the serpent, the snake, the ultimate bad guy. And Vox kind of puts us in check that no, Lucifer's not. He's chained down there. He's still an angel. And that therefore makes him separate from the rest of hell. Other than Charlie and Lilith and Eve, but that's a whole other can of worms that we're not ready for. So I like Lucifer as a character because it's just he's another cinnamon roll, and his big thing is his wife's not around anymore. he doesn't know why, and his daughters always kind of just tolerated him at best. And he is doing everything in his power to not only be like a good quote unquote king in his wife's absence, but also, hang with me, a good quote unquote dad in his wife's absence. I'm getting so many looks from over there. I was really polite during yours. Carry on. I'm not going to talk anymore about Lucifer, apparently. I think he's trying his hardest. I don't think he's succeeding, but I think he is trying his hardest.
During the extermination from season 1,
Yeah.
what was Lucifer doing?
Lucifer has a deal with heaven where they can come and exterminate, but the royal family cannot be harmed.
Right, but what was he doing?
During the first extermination?
Not the very first one, but the one in the first season.
Like,
Physically.
like when they come back? Like when the fight
He was making rubber ducks.
Okay. I didn't know what you were getting at.
What is Lucifer's job?
He is king of hell.
What do you reckon that entails?
I think it's like most kings nowadays, where it's really just a figurehead.
Reasonable take. We have some assumptions about the universe to make in order to have Lucifer fit the cinnamon roll archetype you've placed him in. For one, the narrative thus far has been that hell is overcrowded,
Yes.
and that's why exterminations need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Canonically, in the world of religion, that's impossible. Hell is endless, allegedly, and cannot possibly be overcrowded due to endless, eternal, bigger than possibly imagined.
This
So,
isn't the first
we
thing.
have to make this assumption to fit Lucifer into your mold.
Mm-hmm.
We have to assume hell is overcrowded, and thusly he would have to make that deal with heaven. Also, he's not the bastard angel that Lucifer is in like the religious world, right? Yes, go on.
I don't think he made the deal, to be clear, just to put theorist mode on. I don't think he made the deal for the exterminations.
You think Lilith did?
100%. I think that bitch is behind every extermination that happened. That's why she's hiding in heaven. Absolutely. Sorry, carry on.
Okay. The Queen of Hell's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know enough about the deal that was made to allow the exterminations. What we do know is Lucifer wants to be a steward of hell in a way that is constructive.
Mm-hmm.
If that is the case, you are a fucking wet noodle loser for not doing anything to try and stop a genocide occurring in your house. You might be handcuffed, but what does Alistair do when he's handcuffed? Alistair thinks and outwits everyone. Alistair's handcuffed in a pretty tight and brutal deal. And it takes a lot of effort and work for him to get out of that. Lucifer has authority and power beyond what the overlords can bring to bear because he's an angel. However, he's handcuffed twice. He's handcuffed in one way because he can't smite sinners, which is a thing we learned this season. pretty sure.
Mhm.
He can't kill the sinners, but it's not really in his bag to do that anyway. He doesn't want to do that. So it doesn't matter that he can't. In most cases, it doesn't matter that he can't.
Would have been really nice to see him smite Voss.
Oh, it would have been so good. He is a host of unusable potential because he's handcuffed in that way. The other way he's handcuffed is we are assuming Lilith made the deal to basically kill off everyone that Lucifer's supposed to give a fuck about. Lucifer's supposed to care about these people. Lucifer's supposed to steward these people. That's his words. He wants to make hell a place that is okay. I don't know. Good? Question mark? It's unclear because
the hotel is good.
the portrayal of hell is kind of soft. Like some of the sinners are just sort of like fine.
Really? Yeah, there's not like
There's
not suffering.
you have to fracture your idea of what hell is supposed to be, and you are not given a framework for what it is supposed to be. You know what heaven views it as, which is a traditional, like a vile pit. Heaven views hell as Mormons might view Las Vegas, or better yet, as the Amish might view Las Vegas. A dangerous, sin-filled place that you should never go to.
It's an elephant graveyard.
Yeah, you don't go to the shadowy, shiny place. You don't go there. That's bad. It's scary. It's dangerous. It's like New York, but with whores. More whores.
I was like, New York definitely has horrors.
Sure. It's like if New York and Los Angeles had a bastard child. That's Vegas, right? That's hell in this universe. People aren't necessarily being tortured en masse there. And we're meant to root for the average Joe in hell, which means we're meant to root for Charlie especially, but Lucifer. He's supposed to be our guy. And he's not our guy. Why? Because he's sad. And he doesn't know what to do with himself. And he is.
Take that, depression.
Not to make light of him being so legitimately depressed. His life sucks. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where to go. His wife fully betrayed him and their whole kingdom. His daughter kind of treats him like a deadbeat loser because he is.
And has taken on like an adoptive father.
Who is like active and like does stuff.
And the best at rage baiting Lucifer.
So good.
And he got kicked out of heaven to begin with.
We want to root for Lucifer. He is a wasted character that hasn't been fully wasted yet. We want to root for Lucifer. But what we need is Alistair to rage bait Lucifer enough that he goes to heaven and goes, hey, we're going to do a new deal because I'm not with this shit. I am not about it. And we're going to, if you're not going to come fucking exterminate people down here, we're going to do shit different. And we're going to have a different relationship because I'm in fucking charge. These overlords are not in charge. They run shit in the kingdom because I can't kill them. I'm in charge of this kingdom and we need to do shit differently. That's what I want from Lucifer for the remaining seasons. And you mean to tell me,
oh my god,
when we could do this plot with Lucifer, they're just rage baiting me. We're going to do shit with the V. I digress. We have a lot of questions going into the next season. And our expectations based on, I shouldn't say my expectations based on this season are 6 feet fucking under.
James said he would start watching the second or the third season.
I will not commit to fully watching the third season based on what we know today, the day of recording, which is we have a lot of spinning plates. We are expected to have Valentino play a major role in the next season. Ugh. And that's sort of where we're at.
We're also going to add a bunch more plates because we're doing all of Angel's family.
There's potential there. We like Angel. He was a major player for us in the first season, and he sat in the fucking back seat for this whole season. So to get him back in the front seat, driving this fucking car, cool. That's interesting to me.
I felt like this season was a waste of Blake Roman.
Yes. This season was a waste of every main voice actor.
Yeah, it was a waste of Keith David, too.
Dude, a huge waste of Keith David.
I know they each got their solo song, but that's something that I've been thinking about is those particular songs. I'm thinking of Husk and Angel Dust songs. It felt like they were shoehorned in there because these are the characters that people really care about. So we need to have them at least have like one solo.
We need you guys for the trailer, so you're gonna have lines, but we're not gonna do anything with your characters.
Yeah.
Dude, that sucks.
I mean, like, we get a little bit because, like, we find out that Angel Dust has been being mind controlled the whole time. Like, there's little bits there, but it does feel like, and I think about this with Vaggie and Charlie too, where they get their solo or their duet, but it still feels very like we have to shoehorn this in there because it's kind of like James is saying, and I didn't really think about it until he put that lens on it. They feel shoehorned in there because we're not giving focus to those characters, but these are the ones that people pay to come see, so we really gotta like at least put one thing in there for them. Like it's a waste. It's a waste of Blake Roman. It's a waste of Keith David. I no hate to, and I'm gonna blank on several names, but no hate to like the guy who voices Box. No hate to,
once again, everyone is so well performed.
Yeah, this isn't hate to any of them. I feel like they weren't utilized nearly enough, and I know, because we've already been told that there's going to be changes in the season. We're going to get more Angel Dust, like all that stuff, but that still comes back. Circling conclusion thesis, that all comes back to our main problem with the season, which is we are playing the long con, and the long con is too long. We are not given enough in a season or enough of a season to do it the way you want to do it. You're playing like Game of Thrones mindset.
You're playing Game of Thrones mindset with 25-minute episodes.
And that's just not enough time.
If you listen, you want me to buy in on the V's being real players in this game, you need to have had them slow burn for like 2 or 3 seasons. Okay? Like, I didn't watch Game of Thrones, so I'm going to rely on your brain here. Give me a major player in the middle of Game of Thrones that is dealt with, eliminated, whatever, that was in it from the beginning.
Oh, that was in it from the beginning?
Or at least was in it from like the first couple seasons. Someone who was slow burned long enough and had enough influence that when it did come out that they were a major player, it was satisfying to watch them go.
Okay, no, we're gonna stall out on that because I had made a whole mind change. Game of Thrones, I think the biggest one would be Arya, because she's such a side character for most of it until she does her whole like nameless arc and then her revenge arc. But for most of it, we just check in with her every once in a while as she's traveling to even get to that place.
And I mean, that's a protagonist in the show. Like, I'm thinking of
Theon.
No. I'm thinking of what's that fucking the like the fat eunuch guy with the bald head.
Valaris.
Yeah, or the guy who pushes his wife down the well.
Peter Littlefinger.
Yeah, Like
Yeah.
those guys,
Peter Baelish.
to my understanding, because I didn't watch a show, those guys were slow burn villains.
Yes.
Where like, yeah, they're skeevy, but they're in the background until it's time for them to be major problems. And once they are major problems, your protagonists deal with them. The V's would be interesting characters and worth our time and consideration if we slow burned them exactly the same way we had them in season 1, all the way to like, dude, give me the V's as major league players in season 4 of a 5-season show, or even give them to me as the finale. Make this season's ending where they want to take on heaven to fulfill Lilith's like vision. Spitballing here because I don't know what's going to happen for the next few seasons. I'm just talking about the V's. They would be satisfactory characters and villains and arcs if we slow roll them for a few seasons. They get more and more influential, more and more powerful. They make a play at Alistair at one point. Maybe they get set back, whatever. They keep going, keep going, keep going. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, but not out of nowhere, because we've had them simmering on the stove, and out of seemingly nowhere to the characters in the show, but not to us, the audience, they come out and they're heavy hitters and they're a problem and they need to be dealt with, and they need to be dealt with fast. And the characters that are protagonists are going, how did this happen? How did we get here? That would make them worthwhile. Even when the V's are fucking big league players in this season, the fucking overlords do not know who they are. The overlords do not care. Lucifer does not know who this guy is. Lucifer loses in this season because he is tricked. It is not a fair fight, and the guy gets tricked. Womp womp. And guess what? Yeah, he's zapped a little bit. And then he's saved. Oh,
Because he can't die.
who could have fucking predicted that? What? No way. Even if there's no stakes with Lucifer getting fucking got at the end, like, the only way you can have him lose is to have him be tricked. God damn it. It's just, I hate them so much because I didn't get enough time with them.
I also think like a better comparison, and again, this isn't a show you'd be familiar with, James, but is like Once Upon a Time, where every once in a while, like, it would feel like we would take a whole entire divergence from the main plot line and main characters that we know and love to introduce this new villain that had nothing to do with the story until this season, and just randomly they're here and we're supposed to put a lot of buy-in and care about their backstory, and they're somewhat connected to the main characters. So like, I kind of get your mindset. I'm just trying to help everybody else connect it in a way that makes sense.
Can I pitch something?
Sure, with our last remaining minutes, go for it.
Okay. We spent season 1 introing hell, and we had our season 1 villain in Adam, right?
Yeah.
Great. Not a lot to complain about there, to be honest. What would be a better show than what we have been served and are going to be served, based on what we know, would be our overlords that we were introduced to. Carmela, Rosie, that weird guy who speaks in Old English to Carmela.
I don't know his name off the top
I
of my
don't
head.
either.
The green snake guy.
All these other overlords that were in that meeting from season 1. Dude, give me those guys as rotating season villains. They don't need to be killed. They need to have plots against Charlie for whatever reason. Write it. You're writers. Write it. Give me a rotating cast of people looking to get more power in hell, to strike at heaven, because maybe there is this fucking
Zestial.
Maybe there is this underlying belief amongst the overlords that Lilith was onto something. Don't give me the fucking V's though to start. Let them simmer and let them be a problem later, because you intro them as these fucking bitch-made overlords. Give me a Carmella season where, especially after the events that happened with her in the first season, like, you mean to tell me that she's known that she can smoke angels and she's not doing it because she's biding her time and waiting, and we're gonna sideline her, and then we're gonna have her roll over and just do whatever the V's say in the second season? Dude, what a waste. The V's are not more interesting than her. She could have.
She's got motive. She's got stakes. She's got her daughters.
Dude, give me her as a second season villain with something to do with her weapons manufacturing. And during her season, because she's so intertwined with Zestial, give me more on Zestial. Give me more on Zestial. And then in season 3, give me Zestial as the guy. Let Carmella sit in the back seat. Whatever her plan was foiled, or maybe it succeeded even, and she gains more power. All the while, we've got Alistair fucking with Rosie. Give me Rosie in season 4. And then guess what? Now we're in season 5 of our 5-season show. Bing, bang, boom. Guess who's been growing this whole time in the background? The V's. A trio. The biggest problem we've had to face thus far. Every other overlord is one. Now we've got 3 who have combined forces. And they're a problem. And we have to deal with that problem. Holy shit, dude. A good TV show. Something worth watching. We're fucking begging for it. You gave us genius for season 1, and then you fed us slop and said cheer. Fuck off. We know you can do it. We know you can make a good show. Why don't you try that? Why don't you try that? You did it once. Do it again.
In all fairness, I didn't hate this season that much, but I did think it was worse than season 1. That's pretty much the whole summary of my thoughts. Yes, James, did you want to have a rebuttal?
Done.
Okay.
I'm done.
You opened your mouth. Next up, there was not a vote tonight, so our live audience did not get to vote because we need to touch on Fallout Season 2. And then we'll
Want to talk about a season 2 that's fucking good?
Okay. Then we'll be we'll go back to our regularly scheduled voting material. Until then, just try to stay sane out there. Okay, bye. I told everyone that James had feelings. James has a lot of thoughts about Hazbin.
Stay out of politics.
Oh yeah, what was
Dude,
your thing?
I have a fucking great one there.
What? Other than like the song Vox Populi exists, like what?
Okay.
I know I told you to stay out of politics when the show so does not do that, but like, what's your thought?
The parallels are clear. Adam. That guy's MAGA, okay. To be clear. And he's like the worst ones. He's that guy, right? Sarah is Mike Johnson and Mitch McConnell. We signed off on the evil. And maybe that was an oopsie, but we signed off on it. Our stamp of approval. We're going to own that. Everyone else in heaven that was complicit is the Democratic Party. Democratic Party leadership.
Our camera's been fucky with its autofocus, so I apologize.
Love that. It's because it's too dark in here. We should probably have turned the ring light up a little bit.
It's as up as it always is. Oh, that changes the color. That's down. There we go. Just watching it in replay over here. No,
That's my little connection allegory.
Thank you.
I love art.
Thank you everyone who tuned in.
You're all heroes.
Lots of people hanging out. Our first Hazbin was well attended, so I expected just as much for this one. It's got a cult following, and it is what it is. Love it or hate it.
I don't hate it. To be clear, I do not hate Hazbin Hotel.
I think everyone would think differently. If you gave a survey at the end of this,
I don't hate the show in general. Season 2 sucked balls. The show makes me a little uncomfortable, but season 2 sucked balls.
Anyways, that's Hazbin Hotel. It's been an exhausting day.
We've been up for a long time. Many, many hours.
My child didn't take his full nap.
Nope.
So we're gonna go now.
You ever had a toddler and that don't nap the whole time they're supposed to nap? You know. Parents know. Parents know what's up.
We're gonna go now.
Goodbye. I'm gonna do yoga. My joints hurt. I'm an old man now.
We're so old.
This is bullshit. Who allowed this? Who authorized this? Oh, that was me standing. Oh, I shouldn't have sat with my wallet in my pocket. My ass hurts. Don't you put your fucking finger in there again.
That's not what happened. It's not even close.